Hello everybody and welcome to an early access preview of Le Mans Ultimate version 1.00. Now it's fair to say, since Le Mans version 1 has been released, this game has gone from strength to strength, and every time I seem to jump onto this sim, I'm having more and more fun. The updates are getting better and better, and it doesn't stop here with version 1.2.00. I assume the 00s for updates later on in its life. But anyways, lots of things to go through today. I'm not going to make the video too long because I want to kind of break it down for you, make it nice and easy to kind of consume, shall we say. So let's talk about the first big update for version 1.2, and that is the brand new LMP3 and Paul Ricard. Yes, so the LMP3, I know we have one already, but we've got a new one now. This is the Ginetta G61 LT P325 Evo. If you can actually say that in one sentence, fair play. And we've also got Paul Ricard. Now, I think we all know Paul Ricard as a racetrack. Some love it, some hate it, but it has got many configurations. It's very big in the sim racing world and in real life racing as well. It's used in many, many series, and it is a welcome addition, if you ask me, to this sim. The more tracks, the merrier. Now, the LMP3s, since they have been added to the sim, whilst they are not the most popular car in the world, I actually think they're a hell of a lot of fun. If people gave it a bit more of a chance, I think they would love it. I think adding this Ginetta to the sim should only improve the popularity of that class. And if I'm being completely frank with you as well, I actually think this Ginetta LMP3 is a lot nicer looking than the other one. I actually think at the front of the LMP3 does look really, really good. Now, to go along with the new car and the new track, we also have an updated tyre model for the LMP2, the LMP3 and GT3 classes, along with many, many, many other updates. But let's go out on track and have a little listen to the new LMP3 and have a little onboard lap, shall we say. Not the best onboard lap, it is me. So, yeah, I'm a little bit washed as a content creator and streamer. But we'll go and do a lap around this track now, and I'll just leave you to it and see what you think. Now, if you like the look of this car and this track, I will put the price for this new ELMS Pack 2 on the screen for you right now. Gotta say, value for money wise, it's pretty decent considering how much some other sims could potentially charge you just for one car or one track. So value for money, I don't think it's too shabby at all. Now, if you're not particularly interested in the car or the track, you can, of course, skip this pack. It's not mandatory for you to buy it at all, because along with the version 1.2 update, there are many, many fixes, loads of updates to go along with it, and just good stuff to make the sim even better, to just improve the quality of life and actually make it run a little bit smoother as well. So let's talk through some of the updates that we've actually got for this sim, shall we? So let's talk about the nerdy stuff first. Let's talk about the physics. Now, I've got 2 notes that I've been given here, and I'll read them out to you. So the first thing, it says significant changes to real road track simulations, including width of racing line, rubber build-up, new wet weather parameters, making wet lines more realistic. Okay, so what I take from that is basically the racing line is going to feel like it's got more grip on the edge of the racing line. You don't exactly have to be on the racing line perfectly to get the maximum grip. You can be slightly off it. It's basically just been made a little bit wider in terms of where the grip is. That's my interpretation of it. And when it talks about the wet weather parameters as well, I think that is essentially where you don't want to be on the racing line for when it is actually raining and it is wet. It will be like if it's rubbered in, you don't want to be on that rubbered line because it's going to be so easy to spin, and you're going to see an example of that in this video. There's also another part they talk about here, which is the introduction of wheel rim heating, resulting in heat exchange with surrounding environments in brake discs and tyres. Now, I did test this in the Aston Martin GT3. It was far from an extremely scientific test, but what I essentially did is I got the brakes really, really, really hot to see if that kind of just transferred to the actual wheel hub, shall we say, and if it would warm up the tyre. And it did make a difference. It didn't make a massive difference, but it did make a difference. Now, I also think if you essentially just stop on the track, the rate at which your tyres cool down will be quite different as well. It won't cool down anywhere near as much because you do have the warmth from the rim and basically the discs as well to keep those tyres warm. So that's pretty damn awesome. Next up, let's talk about some new additions to online and basically the improvement of the online service. And something that it's a little touch, but I think could go a long way, is badges. Now, it sounds quite simplistic, doesn't it? But they've added badges, basically, that are going to be next to everybody's name in the sim. And that badge essentially tells you what kind of driver they are. There's a rookie badge, there's a good badge, there's trusted badges, there's a warning badge, so if someone's been involved in a lot of incidents recently, they'll have a warning badge next to them, and if they do not improve, they could potentially get banned and be put in, well, they've been put in probation, and then their account and their driving could be reevaluated, which I think is very, very cool. There's also a badge called the Content Creator or Driver. This is basically reserved for well-known real-world drivers and staff of the Studio 397 team. So the badges, although quite simplistic, I think it's a nice little touch because you can kind of tell exactly what kind of driver you're going to be racing against, and I do think it'd be pretty cool if you just join into a lobby and then you see that driver badge next to someone, and then you kind of know that you're racing against a real-life racing driver, which I think is a very, very nice touch indeed. And yeah, also a little bit more confidence inspiring if you join a lobby and it's full of people with the good badges next to their name, which is really, really nice indeed. Now, all of this is basically based on your last 10 races. So for players for their first ever 10 days, they will just be given a rookie badge while data is essentially gathered, and then that can be changed. So for the first 10 days, I think you're just going to have that rookie badge, and then that will change over time depending on how you drive and how other people think you drive around them. Now, moving on from the badges, we have a new system called Live Steward. This is like a brand new tool that they are going to implement to improve driving standards. The system is going to be rolled out to gather information like incident data, and essentially what it's going to do is going to train the program to have a look at the most obvious intentional wrecks. So the way it's going to work in like future races, it will have the powers to apply live penalties for more general racing incidents and unsafe driving, etc., etc. So it's going to be basically taking data, and it's going to be gathering it, and it's going to try and use that data to try and basically identify if someone's driving very badly or taking you out on purpose, to actually give them live penalties in game. Now, it's not going to be like as soon as there's a little bit of contact, it's going to give you a penalty or anything like that. Like it says, it's going to take quite some time to gather data and make sure that they absolutely get this spot on. So it's not live stewards as such, it's a system called live stewards. I'm eager to see how this one will work, because whenever this kind of system is put into a game or a sim, it's very, very touch and go, and many people are very, well, they're dubious about it. They question it a lot, and there's some very questionable decisions whenever you leave it to an automated system, but we'll see how we get on. They're going to gather lots of data. I don't think they'd introduce it if they think it's not something that could work, or, you know, something they haven't tested already in-house. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works, but live stewards will be coming in this update. So yeah, be interesting to see people getting actual live penalties for incidents. Sticking with online again, we have a new anti-cheat. This is called the Easy Anti-Cheat. It's implemented to stop and deter cheating on LMU. Now, this system will be downloaded automatically with the update, and will boot in the background on launch through Steam. It must be running to access online servers, so you can't not basically get online without this. Okay, so it's a new anti-cheat. I mean, I'm all for anti-cheats, you know, as long as it runs in the background, doesn't take up too much system memory, just does the job that's supposed to do, then, you know, an anti-cheat is only a good thing in my eyes. Now, something that has really caught my eye, the online championships. There is now a team online championship, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing the schedule and what the tracks are and the race lengths and stuff like that. So very much like your online championships right now, we have like a, you know, I think I did the ELMS championship, I was in the LMP2, and that would, you know, you have races every Tuesday, Wednesday, and it basically put you against people, you know, in your region and across the world, and you basically fight to win the championship that way. Yeah, there's going to be an online team version, so you'll sign up as a team and you'll see how far you can get against other people, I suppose, where you can finish. I love that idea. The online of team championships really does appeal to me. So if you've got some mates out there that just love the idea of this, then you'll definitely want to sign up to this. And I think this is a welcome addition to the sim, because I do like the online championship. I think it's the best part of the sim, and now you can actually do it with your mates as well. Is really just top drawer. I love the idea of that. Really good stuff. Yeah, that's the team online championships. Not much really to dive into there, because it's essentially the online championships, but as a team. So yeah, not too complicated. Now, one thing that people have been asking for ruddy ages. I know a friend of mine that's been asking for it for ages, is the engineer mode. Huzzah! After extended testing and tweaking to the system, the engineer mode will be available with this release. Hallelujah. It has taken ruddy ages, but it's finally here. This was shown off months ago, the engineer role, so I'm very glad to see that this has finally been implemented, because, you know, for the team events, the endurance races, it's very handy to have an engineer. Now, it can be used in Team Online Championships, special events, and as well, you can invite them, basically if they're your friends on Steam and they're, yeah, if they're in your friends list on Steam, you can actually ask them to be an engineer in a single driver race. So you'll have an option, let's just say maybe an online championship race, or, you know, an online race that you're doing, you can actually invite that person to be your engineer just for that single driver race. That's pretty damn awesome, right? So it's not just for like team events, they can actually help you in those longer solo driver events, which is really nice, I've got to say. Additional improvements as well. Whilst we move on from the online stuff, there is a new damage model. Now, this is essentially more accurate, kind of like representing battles, you know, when you're like racing side by side, training paint and all that kind of stuff. So the cars are a lot more scratched up, and yeah, it's not just like a huge dent out one side. You'll see a lot more kind of wear and tear from side to side battling. So yeah. Another improvement as well is revised tyres for the LM GT3, LMP2 and LMP3, which makes temperature peaks less aggressive. So there'll be a slightly smoother drop off in grip. Okay, that's interesting to know. Time penalties are to be added. So not every misdemeanor is penalised with a drive-through. So currently the penalty system is essentially you get a drive-through or a stop and go. Now they're going to implement time penalties. I'm not sure exactly how that will work and what you need to do to get a time penalty, but you will get those. Now, I do believe for these time penalties as well, you have the choice of serving them in the pits or just adding it to your race time. So if you kind of want to just get rid of it, say if you're doing a longer race, you got a penalty, 5-10 second penalty or whatnot, you kind of just want to get rid of it to know exactly where you are. You can serve that in the pits, which is pretty damn awesome. And another thing to be, another thing noted here as well is Japanese has been added. So if you are Japanese, yes, you should be able to, basically play the game and read everything in your own language, which is pretty damn awesome. There's also so many bug updates and just fixes to the game, which is really, really good to see. Loads and loads and loads. And one of my pet peeves was the replay bar wasn't too good. It was a real pain. And by the looks of it, thankfully they've solved the replay bar so you can actually watch instance whilst you're racing online as well, properly without it kind of just freezing your game and going all the way to the back. So that is a pretty damn awesome improvement indeed. Anyways, right, I've been waffling on. Hopefully you've understood all that, and hopefully you think it's a good update. Let me know in the comments if you'll be buying this pack and if you're looking forward to this update. A big thank you to Le Mans Ultimate for allowing me to get early access to this game. And all that I ask is that if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you for the next one. Take care, have a good one. Ta-da.